And please bring your hands together at your heart. And we'll chant the Gayatri mantra. We're at the third chakra today. Okay, let's begin. Om Bhurva Svaha Tat Savito Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayata Om Bhurva Svaha Tat Savito Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayata Om Bhurva Svaha Tat Savito Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayata Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Shri Guru Pyo Namaha Hari Om. You may bow your head to your heart. Release your hands. Okay, and while sitting upright, let's come back to where we began our practice yesterday with the 2 blocks. So a reminder that we were working yesterday with the vayus and also with the pelvic floor. So these 2 blocks you're going to place on this kind of diagonal and raise your hips to sit on them. I do want you to bring the soles of the feet together so that when you're sitting on the blocks right now, if you roll backwards, you don't run into your tailbone. It's got the space, it's in the space beyond the 2 corners of the blocks. And when you're on the blocks, you can feel the outer thigh bones, the greater trochanter. And then soles of the feet together, hold the front of the ankles or your toes. And let's bring the spine forward like you're doing cow pose. And raise up through your chest and your heart, open your throat. And then bring the chin down and orient your spine so you're going towards cat pose. And again, check that you don't have the tailbone running into the blocks. When you go back to cat pose, pick up the heels of your feet, but keep the toes on the floor. And then roll forward again to the cow pose spine. That means anterior tilt for the pelvis and extension for the spine. Lift the chin, stretch the front of the throat. And then curl down with your chin. Take your time. Raise the heels, reach back with the torso so you're leaning back behind your plumb line. And then again, roll the outer heels down and rise up to your cow pose spine. And last time we're going to go to cat pose. Then we're going to be looking for the neutral spine between those 2. So raise the heels as you roll back. It's going to give you a little bit more capacity to roll back. And then roll the heels down and come into your seat. Rest your hands out over your knees. And see if you can find the place now where you're sitting upright. So there's a temptation for the pelvis to tip either forward or back as a counterbalance. Let's see where you can sense you're actually upright. And there's just enough tone in the pelvic floor and the low abdomen to support your upright posture. Return now to the Ujjayi breath and try to sense how the inhale is greeted by or welcomed into the pelvic floor and the low belly. Also sense how the inhale arrives, how it kind of announces itself. Is it gentle and kind or sort of demanding? Is it tossing the door open or requesting an invitation? And with the exhale, also sense what is the tone of the pelvic floor during the exhale. And then begin to slowly widen your heels apart. You can take your time with that. It is going to change the shape of the pelvic floor. Maybe very subtle, might be more obvious for you. Of course, you may feel the inner thighs. Please maintain the Ujjayi breath so you can tell if the Ujjayi breath becomes disrupted or bumpy or something changes. You may have a signal from your body that's asking you to slow down or to greet your threshold and pause there. And then slowly bring the heels back together, noticing when they touch what has changed with the shape of the pelvic floor. Reach down with your left hand, please, to hold the toes or the top of your right foot. Take the right hand to your right knee and twist gently to your right. When you're holding the toes, depending on the length of your arm, you will have a slight forward bend. We also can pull up and lengthen the spine, kind of up out of the pelvis as you're rotating, please. And then holding onto the top of your right foot or your toes, begin to side bend to your left. You can press the right knee down with your right hand, but eventually you're going to have the sense that the hand is less and less able to press on the knee because your side bend increases. When you feel inclined to do so, raise your right arm up overhead and add to the side bend. And then please rise up and return to center. Let's put the right hand on the toes or the top of the left foot, whichever you prefer. Left hand to your left knee, and please twist to your left. Draw up through the spine. So if you've got shorter arms and a longer torso, you're going to feel like the right arm is quite lengthened right now. And so as you draw up through the spine, you might feel a little stretch on the right side of the neck or in the right chest or shoulder or upper back. Notice the shape of the pelvic floor as you begin side bending to your right. You can press the left knee and the left thigh out with the left hand. And when you feel inclined to do so, raise your left arm up past your left ear. Yeah, beautiful. Just saying good morning to the body. The Ujjayi breath should be a place where you're getting some biofeedback, like how focused is your mind, how smooth is the breath, what's happening in the inner body. And exhale, bring yourself up to center, rotate back around, and let's scoot the feet out a couple of inches. And now put the heels together and take the toes apart as you come forward. So where you're sitting on the beveled edge of the blocks, where you have your seat there, you're going to be now like a slight massage, we could say. For some of you, it's going to feel like a deeper massage, but it's right there at the back of the trochanter bones, the thigh bones. And right around there are some of the insertions of this muscle group called the deep six. And they have innervation and support to stabilize your hips, your thighs into your hip sockets. But they also share information with the pelvic floor. Okay, so now as you walk yourself back upright and you're taking this seat, place your hands on the blocks and bring the knees up to center, so that when you're sitting now, and you may have to organize so that you're sitting in this way, the two corners of the blocks are just behind the thigh bones, not on the sitting bones. Those are just inside there. And there's a little more dynamic massage going on. So bring the knees and the feet in, reach the arms forward, and let the pelvis settle down to those 2 points where the blocks are giving you some information. And see if it's possible that you can inhale between those two blocks, between these sensations. Can you imagine widening that space out with the inhale? Now, without falling over backwards, please exhale and roll the torso by first rolling the pelvis. Roll slightly back. Yes, the blocks are there. And then inhale, roll forward. So you are getting a chance to explore some of the tender spots in the pelvis. I know for some of you it may not be so tender, and for others it may be quite tender on one side relative to another side. Or maybe it's tender everywhere. This myofascial region in the body is really essential for the base of your practice, the base of your pelvis. Let's roll back one more time. And then roll forward and up one more time. Now, place your hands on the two blocks and press yourself into Uttanasana and just see what's happening. If you bring the blocks around for your hands as needed, feel free to do that. But just notice what's happening. This is your first Uttanasana of the morning, and it's possible that it doesn't feel as stiff to you as it would otherwise because of the work you were just doing. And now please place your hands on the two blocks and step into Vajrasana. We're going to do a little bit of pranayama from there. So good morning to your sitting bones, your tailbone. Good morning to the outer hips right there in the sensitive spots. So here we're going to be coming down, and one of the practices will come down like this. So please check that how you have the block for your head is where you would want it to be when the fists are deep in the belly and you're coming into child's pose. Now, again, a variation on this, if kneeling is not comfortable for you, or if full hip flexion is not comfortable for you right now, a variation would be to sit in one chair and have a second chair in front of you with the height of that chair with the block, so that when you come forward, you're basically going to be able to squeeze the low belly right through here. Okay, palms face down. Sit in the center of the pelvis, so front to back, you're centered. And please come to Bhastrika with enough tone in the pelvic floor that you're not making the body jolt with each exhale. Inhale to suspension. In your own timing, please exhale completely and thoroughly. And then deeply relax. Now, round number 2, with this exhale after suspension, we're going to blow out through a tiny straw. So when you're doing Bastrika, it's like a milkshake straw. But when you're doing the exhale after suspension, it's like a teeny cocktail straw. Let's begin. Exhale. Inhale through the nose. When you are ready, a little straw exhale. And then again, please deeply relax. Now we're going to do a breath practice that's really helpful for the third and the fifth chakra. So one of the challenges at the third chakra is that we don't have a sense we're doing this, but we may have unclear boundaries sometimes, like we give more than we want to, or we take in more than is ours to take in. And this process of responsibility, burden, reciprocity gets kind of confused. And we end up feeling, let's say, resentful or irritated or unseen or whatever. So there's a breath called the lion's breath that stretches the throat, the tongue, the face, the eyes, and you place the hands like paws. I don't know how many of you know this in entirety, so please watch for a moment. You place the hands like your paws, and you're squeezing them. And when you inhale, you're going to hold the breath for a few moments at the top. And when you exhale, you're going to take the claws out like this, and you place the hands on the knees. You come forward, you stick the tongue out, and you make a sound, and you make the eyes big too. So that's called the lion's breath. And it's a fun breath for children to do, but I'm also going to teach it to you as adults. So it looks like this. Here's my inhale. And that was the exhale. So on the inhale, I'm just basically counting inhale suspension. I'm sort of counting to 5, and then I'm doing the exhale. So your timing is going to be your own. I'd like us to try it a few times, and then we'll pause and see what has happened in this region of the body. Okay. It's good to smile at your experience. People can't really see you that well, especially if they don't have their glasses on. Like you're over here on a monitor, you're up there on a monitor, you're over here, but I won't be able to see what your tongue looks like. So don't worry too much. Make your pause, please. Inhale to a short suspension. Repeat when you're ready to. Three times more. One more time, perhaps. And then rest your hands in your lap. And now let's see if the exhale in this practice that we do, we're squeezing the belly. Is this exhale any bit easier? What I'd like you to do is take your fists and your fists and place them in the low belly. And with the inhale this morning, let's use the cow pose spine to go up with the inhale. And then on the exhale, come up over the fists, which are going to squeeze into the belly. You're also going to squeeze the exhale out. At the bottom of the exhale, you'll have this very strong squeeze. Without inhaling and only briefly, you're going to radically relax the belly. And then we'll tone the belly to rise back up to the next inhalation. Pace yourself so that you can do these sequentially this morning, using the Ujjayi breath as you go. And then the next time that you're inhaling to come back upright, let that be the last one. And you can rest your hands in your lap again. Welcome your mind to be deeply quiet. And put the two blocks near to the front of your mat. And please come forward to table pose. And notice when you come forward, if you step now 1 foot back to plank, you're going to get this circulation going from your pelvis to that heel. Step the other foot back to plank. Use the Ujjayi breath now in the amount that you need for something like plank pose, which is more dynamic than sitting in meditation. And then raise your hips high and come into downward facing dog pose. And please glide forward to plank. Press into all 10 toes. Tone the low belly with the exhale. And then touch your knees down and come into the slumber party pose. So you're going to be on your stomach. Come onto your elbows like this. So if you press the tops of the feet down and the tops of the thighs and the kneecaps, then press the tailbone down towards the pubic bone. Try to lift the skin of the low belly just up off the floor so there's less weight there. And let that lift come up in and towards the solar plexus, the third chakra. You glide the heart forward. When you inhale, press the sides of the pinkies down and raise your chest and heart up. And exhale, glide forward so the elbows come down. Try to sense the belly getting longer. We did this yesterday also, I believe. So inhale, press down, rise up. Exhale, glide the belly forward so you're getting longer in the inner body as you come down. And then again, inhale to go back up. And exhale, slide back down. Now, keeping the pelvis and the low belly toned, let's put the blocks under the elbows in slumber party pose. Press down with the elbows and again lift the skin of the low belly just lightly up off the floor. Lift your chest and your heart and try to sense the breath coming. Lower body, so first chakra, then second chakra, then third, and then up into the heart and the fourth. Keeping the elbows firm. When you next exhale, raise up to a kind of table pose on the knees and elbows. And then inhale, glide forward to your slumber party pose. Draw the heart forward. Exhale, the sort of table pose. I know that the knees are farther back than you would have for table. Inhale, slide forward like slumber party or sphinx pose. Exhale, table pose. Keep the low belly toned, the back waist broad. Inhale, glide forward. The legs are still toned, and there's no part of the spine that should feel flimsy right now. Let's do it one more time. Exhale to table. Curl the toes under and make this into plank pose on the elbows. And then touch the knees down. Step your right foot out to the side. Scooch the blocks away. And as you step the right foot out to the right, come down to your forearms. You cross your right forearm on the mat and twist to your left. Swish your belly to the left. So the inner belly is sort of swishing around in the pelvis there. Lengthen the upper inner right thigh. Now, keeping your left palm firm on the floor, with your next inhale, press down into your left hand and rotate to open to your right. And exhale, come down, under, and through. Inhale, open to your right. Exhale, down, under, and through. Inhale, open. Exhale, under. One more time, inhale to open. And exhale, return your right hand to the floor, left hand to the floor. Step the right foot in, take the left foot out, and come down to your forearms. Cross the left forearm on the front of your mat. Take the right hand to the floor. Twist to your left, to your right, excuse me. Lengthen the upper inner left thigh. So this feels really long from the upper inner groin down to your left inner arch. In the twist to your right, think of swishing the inner belly to the right. And then placing the right hand where it's going to be directly under your right shoulder. With your inhale, open and twist to your left. And exhale, down, under, and through. Inhale, open. Time the movements of your body with the length of your breathing. And don't impose any sense of urgency or impatience in the process. Twice more, please. And then place your hands. Take the left leg in. Let's come to Adho Mukha Svanasana. Walk your hands and feet towards each other. Please come to Uttanasana. Shift your hands to your hips and rise up to standing. Good morning. Buenos dias, amigos. Okay. Let's set up for Surya Namaskar, please. And again, Sarah, I forgot where the hair ties are. I actually don't know at the moment where I put them down. But okay. Join your hands together at your heart, please. So using the Ujjayi breath, just feel into your body what you have already cultivated. So Surya Namaskar is now more like an offering or a prayer. You're not digging through the residue of the body, the rubble of the mind. We're going to be using Anjane Asana this morning. Let's inhale, Ujjayi, raise up. Chair pose, Utkatasana. Inhale, rise up and look up, open your throat. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, glide forward. Okay, exhale, left toes back and left knee down. Good. Inhale, rise up. When you rise up, join the palms and overlap your thumbs. Open your throat. You can gaze up between the centers of the palms. Okay, with your exhale, sweep the arms wide, and as you come forward, lightly touch the two blocks. Inhale, straighten both legs and pick up the toes of your right foot. And then exhale, glide forward to the basic lunge. So your right foot's going to get flat on the floor there. Place the left palm firmly. Inhale, twist to your right. Exhale, return to the light fingertips on the blocks. Inhale, straighten both legs. Pick up the toes of your right foot. And exhale, glide forward using the entire exhale. We're in no particular hurry. Place the left palm, inhale, twist to your right. And this time, exhale, come down to plank pose. Inhale, downward facing dog pose. Exhale to plank pose. Tone the low belly. Inhale to cow pose, so the knees come down, chest and heart forward. And then exhale, slide your hips forward to seal pose. Inhale to high cobra. Exhale to low cobra. Inhale to seal pose. Plank. Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. And then exhale, left foot forward and right knee down. Inhale, rise up. Join your palms like a prayer. And then hook one thumb over the other. Make it like an arrow. Gaze up between the centers of the palms. And then exhale, arms wide. And as you come forward, touch the blocks lightly. So you're going to inhale, straighten both legs, pick up the toes of the left foot. Yeah. And then exhale, as you come down, firmly plant your left foot, bend your left knee over your left ankle. And then inhale, twist to your left with confidence in your foundation. Exhale, return. Place your fingertips. Inhale, straighten both legs, lift the toes of your left foot. And exhale to glide. So the more firm you feel connected to your foundation, the brighter the sense of reaching. And exhale, return. Let's do it one more time. Inhale, straighten both legs, lift the toes of your left foot, press into your fingers. Exhale, bend, find your foundation there in your foot, in your heel, and inhale to open. This time, inhale and bring it all the way to Uttanasana. Exhale all the way to Uttanasana. Step your right foot forward. And then inhale, rise up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, hands to your heart. Anjali Mudra. Now from where you are, step your left foot back to Anjaneyasana. Yeah. So if this is, let's say that you were a compass, and this is north, just because I need to assign it. We're all in different places, so let's call that north, so that this is east, and this is west. No, I'm sorry. This is north. Let's see, and that is south. So this is east, and this is west. Okay, so facing the north, your right knee is to the north, just for the moment. You press down against your knee and raise up through your chest and your heart. And tone the low belly, bring your torso upright. With your right foot, go toe, heel to the northwest. Press down against the knee, raise up with your chest and your heart. Tone the low belly, bring your torso upright. Toe, heel to the west. Try to keep the hips facing forward. Press down against the top of the right thigh and inhale to go up. Use the low belly to come upright. And now go toe, heel to the right. So now it's like north, west, 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 almost west. Let the hips stay forward. Again, root down, rise up. And exhale, tone the belly to come up. And now we're going to go all the way to the west. So if you go toe, heel to the west, what's going to happen for some of you is that when you come all the way west, your hip socket needs you to accommodate that by making a slight turn towards your right knee. And now we're going to glide to the right. Take your right arm against the inside of your right leg. You may even choose to hold the top of your ankle there. Curve over and sweep the left arm past your ear. When you come down to the right here, whatever amount that is for you, it's okay if you have to take the left shin and turn it slightly out. You might need that little bit of rotation for your left thigh to give you the freedom to come to the right. Okay, now exhale, rise up to kneeling in this position. Reach for one block on the tall setting. Now, so if you got your right hand over here to the west, now take it west and south. There you go. Press the left hip forward. Press your right palm firmly onto your block. The left hip is going forward. The chest and heart are a little more like a back bend now. So that side bend started and became a little back bend. And then again, exhale, use your left low belly, bring yourself up. Reach for your block and take it south, south. Not completely south, that would be a different, you'd be a contortionist. But take it a little bit more to the south. Place your right palm firmly on that block. Send the left hip forward right here. And raise up. Root the tailbone down, your left shin down, your right palm down. And then sweep your left arm across your face, roll down and rise up. Okay, and step the right foot in, right shin in. And then other side. So of course, if you need padding for your Anjaneyasana, you're always welcome to do that. Please bring your left foot forward, and this is going to be to the north. Yeah, there you are. Press down against your left thigh, raise up like a little back bend. Lift the skin of the low belly up like you did from the floor earlier, and open up through the front hemisphere of the body, including your throat. Then exhale, bring yourself upright. So if this is due north, now we go north, east, east. Yeah. Press your left hand on your left thigh, raise up. And exhale from the low belly to come up and go east. There you are. So the right butt keeps pressing forward. The hip flexors are open. Press down against the left thigh. And exhale, use the belly to come up. And we go east, east. I've got some objects here. Okay, so again, press on the left thigh. Keep the knee pointing with the toes. Lift from the low belly for a little back bend. Exhale, use the belly to come up. And now we're going to go east to east until it's to the east. And you might have to make a little accommodation here. So the right thigh allows the pelvis to be angled this way. Glide to your left. You may take the left arm to the inside of your shin, possibly hold the top of your ankle. Come into your side bend. Press firmly into your right shin. It is part of your foundation here. And then exhale, right low belly can bring you back up and take your tall block. Okay, so if it's east, it starts east, and then just take it east and south, tiny bit. Okay, so you might want a taller block even. You could have a flat block and a tall block. You can stack up 3 or 4 blocks if you want to. So keeping the right butt forward, squeeze the back hemisphere of the pelvis here. So this stays open as you place your left hand. And then exhale, bring yourself up and consider moving the block south, south. So not completely 100% south, but a tiny bit more to the south. And opening. Press firmly onto your block, but also squeeze the right butt muscles. And then glide your right arm across your face. And exhale up to your high knees, both shins like this. Take a seat. Find out how you are. And then let's take the 2 blocks, please. Lie on your back. Bring the 2 blocks onto the floor so that they are flat and they have a little triangle towards the tailbone. And then pick up the knees and glide them towards your chest. If you'd like, you can hold the backs of the knees with your fingers. It's not necessary if they're going to stay on their own. Let the breath slow down, and when you're ready to reach between the legs to hold the big toes and come into a kind of lying on your back Baddha Konasana. And you can release your feet from there. Touch the feet down to the floor. Take the blocks out a little ways and lower down to rest the outer trochanters on the block. So when you pick up your feet, your sacrum doesn't quite touch the floor or just barely touches. And you're right at the back side of the trochanters. Let the lumbar spine soften down. The top of the sacrum may touch the floor, even though the trochanters are not yet released. Let the knees come in towards your chest and heart. Gravity can help you with that. And tone the belly, slide the blocks out. And reach into your Shavasana, please. In this Shavasana, you can reflect back on, in the practice, some of the movements we were doing were to open the solar center, the third chakra. And we also did some work on opening the throat. Remind yourself that what gets spoken through the voice comes through all of the chakras. And we don't just want to have the fury of the third chakra become the voice. But we also don't want to suppress emotions in the third chakra. They go down into a kind of, you burn yourself with that. When you come to Shavasana now, see if you can let the inner wisdom of your body and your heart help you with any recalibration that you need. Invite your mind to get really still at the third chakra, where the just right fire is, the just right size fire. You can sense the just right size fire. Keeps you just warm enough. Is available to digest emotions. Has its own sense of brightness